Everyone's up?
Brilliant.
Okay.
So tonight what I want to do is talk to you about our relationships with our mobile phones. And I want to start by asking a few questions. Basically, who in this room stays standing if you would give up your coffee for your mobile phone? Stay standing if you would give up showering for your mobile phone? And stay standing if you give up sex for your mobile phone? And the reason I've started it off tonight with that is because our relationships with our mobile phones have become out of control. We are so connected every day of the minute, and although it's sort of a bit of a negative thing, it's also a huge opportunity for everybody around us. I want to talk to you about geofencing tonight, which is a digital perimeter that is set up around various locations to send location-based messages. Now you may have seen it, O2 have been teaming up with people like Starbucks, and if you're passing, say, walking down Briggate, they'll send you a little 50p coupon saying, come in store today and you can have 50p off your coffee. Now that's a basic way of using it, but actually more brands are thinking about how they can use it and how they can evolve it. People like North Face have been, nice text by the way, going on there. People like North Face have been setting up digital parameters around not only their stores but around locations in which people are taking part in the brand, so around ski resorts, around walking centres, to get people connected to the brand when they're not even in store. The best example was Meatpack. They did this app where they said they set up digital parameters around their competitors' stores like Nike and Adidas. And the minute I walked in their shop, I get a time discount saying the sooner you come to my shop, the more money you can get off. Now when I saw this, it was one of the most amazing ideas I've ever heard of. And what was so impactful about it is the timing. We get email promotions all the time and we get billboards. We get billboards, but actually what's so great is it gets you at the opportune moment that they're trying to persuade you. And the reason that we're so receptive to this is because we adopt the coupon mind. I used to be mortified when my mum would get out a coupon in Aldi or Tesco. But now we're not like that. We go to Pizza Express and we use the voucher codes and we're not ashamed to do it at all. And Starbucks actually ran a campaign earlier this year called Introduce Yourself. Between the hours of 9 and 10, if you went in and said, my name is Steph, they'd give you a free coffee. They gave away 2,000 free cups of coffee, which demonstrate how much we're willing to do to get a freebie. So then I went away and I did some more research and looked into this time to kill phase. And it's this period in which it doesn't matter what you do with your time because it's dead space. It really doesn't matter, you could do anything with it. And it's often done in commuting. And I went away and I thought, where do you spend a lot of time? And I thought the airport. You have to check into the before your flights 2 hours before, which means that 2 hours you're in the airport, you've got nothing else to do. So for brands, there's a huge potential in that. You're walking around, any brands could get you, whether it's McDonald's, whether it's Starbucks, whether you're selling cameras or suntan lotion. You think about the amount of touch points you can capture people, it's actually phenomenal. But one of the things I want to talk to you about is who you actually target with this. Now, I've said not to target my mum, because when I told her about this, she was like, oh, it's too Big Brother, I don't like it. But there is an element of, how do you know what people are like? And how do you know their individual preferences, or their needs, or the problems that they have? For example, say you offered a drinks promotion to someone who's an alcoholic. How do you stop that? How do you stop this from happening? And what happens when you start to... That's a bit funny, isn't it? What happens when you start to influence their moral considerations? Paul the Beak actually talks about this idea of, as technology is advancing and as we're so connected with our handsets, who is to blame when things start to go wrong? Who do we blame when our actions that we decide to do actually turn into negative actions? So there's no reason that we can't do this, you've just got to find your right prey. You've got to really think about who's receptive to this, who's going to be the right audience, and who really understands it, and how do we target the right messages. Now, it's all good, well and good saying, you know, send them a text promotion, but you've got to think about what you're offering them. If I walk down Briggate and I get free coffee, free coffee, free coffee, it's not going to attract me. You've got to think about how you would use your brand language, or how you would try and attract them through different ways. And one of that could be through, you know, sending them photographs of food, which, by the way, that looks great. But it could also be through sending things like video content. With our handsets evolving more and more, there's no reason why you couldn't send more than just photographs. So tonight, I really wanted to end the slide on thinking differently. I don't mean by getting that tattooed on your neck. I mean think disruptively, got that in there at the end, and think about how you could use geofencing in any type of business that you're working on, whether you're in creative or not, it can still work. So I'm asking you to join this technology wave because it's going to happen whether you like it or not. Thank you for listening.